Hey, so I'm mostly making this video today because the other day in class my microphone gave up on me, and I want to test my new one. But then also, it's just because of the nature of the world these days, one of the biggest discussion points in our virtual classes has been training at home, specifically how to coach yourself, how to better coach yourself. The struggle with this, especially as beginners in martial arts, is how do you coach yourself without the knowledge of the skill that you're trying to learn? Well, as human beings, we do it naturally, whether we know how to do it or not. It's just whether or not we do it successfully. So what I want to focus on today is how to do it in a positive manner. Our normal thinking patterns revolve around questioning everything we do. So another way to look at coaching yourself is that self-evaluation is really just asking yourself the right questions. And I say the right questions because the type of questions that you ask can make a major difference in what you do about the setbacks in your training. It's the same as in life. How do you handle the setbacks that are just part of being human? It's just part of being a functional adult. When we're talking about practicing in martial arts, it's just part of the learning process. Things don't always go the way that we want them to, especially not in the beginning. So when you become better at coaching yourself, you'll notice that your training starts to go a little smoother. It feels a bit more practical. When someone who is good at coaching themselves runs into an obstacle, that setback, they naturally start the evaluation, the questioning process like this. First off, we always ask ourselves, first question, what did I do wrong? But next, we got to start asking, what did I do right? Well, what can I learn from this roadblock? What do I need to do differently next time? Do I need to do anything differently next time? Or do I just need to learn more about this to do a better job in order to progress? And that's a big one. And the follow-up needs to be, who can I learn this from? Are there any books? Are there any videos, seminars, reference materials, articles I can go to? So you see, these types of questions will help you learn from your mistakes because they set you up to grow from them. It's about what we do next. It's all about that setup, but only if you use them. Because the answers to these questions can help you move ahead. Go under, around, straight through that obstacle. They help you learn how to do better next time and keep you focused and heading in the right direction of your goal. On the other hand, the types of questions that people who struggle with coaching themselves tend to ask, and you'll notice that they tend to align with a more negative attitude, even if it's unintentional. We'll start out with, why does this always happen to me? Why can't I do better? Why can't I do this? We start blaming. What's wrong with me? Why am I such a dummy? Why am I just not good at this? And what kinds of answers can you get from these kinds of questions? Can any of these questions actually give you something that will help you? No. The answers to these questions are all negative and drive down your motivation and your confidence. Serve no good towards a greater goal. Speaking of goals, again, the larger the goal, remember, the more time it usually takes to accomplish, and the greater the chances of setbacks, the bigger the obstacles you're going to face. Again, these are just part of life. But the better questions you learn to ask yourself, the more and the quicker progress you're going to make towards your goals. So when you're training today, train mindfully. Don't avoid mistakes. Embrace them. Give some real thought towards a solution. But if you don't have one, just take a note and look for help. The goal is not to have a growing list of questions to ask, though. The goal is to ask those questions and learn from them. They don't help you unless you use them. That's how you coach yourself. It's not always by knowing what to do. It's just by having the right questions and thinking critically about the answers. Knowing that you don't always have to have the solution, the answer to those questions, as long as you're using your questions to seek out someone or something, some resources that can provide the answer, and then adjust your training plan accordingly. Martial arts isn't for people who want to get it right all the time. We got to be okay with that constant guess and check and the use of a strong support system when we're stuck. So next time, we'll look at the failure spiral, recognizing when you're caught up in it, and most importantly, how to break it and turn it into a success spiral. See you then.